Right.
Okay, you can.
We used to do intros, right? This will probably be it, to be honest.
Yeah, why not?
We used to do intros, and then I decided I'd be really alternative and just not do intros and talk a lot of shit, and then that became the intro. So yeah, that's the intro. Welcome to the pod.
Welcome to the pod. Hello. Well done. The face of Mark's last one didn't when we done an intro.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, we want to do an intro.
Yeah,
then, maybe
we went to an intro.
But
I texted you though. I said if you want to do one, Pat, it's your show.
Well, I say we are partners.
Jesus.
Well,
Right, it's gonna be a long hour.
It is. Episode 25.
Episode 25. There you go. That's the first swear. Where's the swear jar? That's cringy. That can be cut. Fucking hell. We are in Haystack today. Haystack Murphy. Thank you to Liam Lazarus for allowing us to use the space, and for Keely as well for setting everything up and making us feel very welcome. Truth is, we had to find a venue big enough to get this hench motherfucker through the door, because we are joined by Alex Evans, who is better known to many in the social media world as Bacon. I want to start by saying, thank you very much for coming on. I know you've got your reasons for coming on, and it's been probably just over a year of trying to get you on.
Tagging on Instagram.
Messaging. I even, and you'll probably remember that, I even went on a social 5k run and dip, which they actually sent cars out to get me.
Yes,
because I couldn't finish. But yeah, persistence paid off, and I think as well as you said, you're kind of looking to challenge yourself. Well, we're very happy for you to be here.
Absolutely.
First question I've got, diving straight in. Bacon. Where does the name come from?
It's not as exciting as you think. I used to tell people I had a relationship with a pig and I don't want to talk about it. But no, it came from a rugby changing room. I think I had a pack of bacon frazzles.
Okay.
Someone just coined onto it, and then that was that.
Wow, that's simple.
And then when I was 17, I bought a burger van.
Okay.
And that was Bacon's Burgers.
Okay.
Right, okay.
Then Instagram, CrossFit, and then it's just stuck. And pretty much 90% of people I know or know me is just Bacon. Yeah,
because it's quite difficult to find out your real name.
Yeah,
because it took me probably until just before Christmas.
Oh,
but really? I'd known him since like the April.
But when you done that, the revive thing, I go, it's an amazing guy. We got him on the pod. What's his name? Bacon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people ask if it's my second name, but no, it's just something that's stuck.
Yeah, because at first I thought it may have been the second name, and then I think it was your mum.
No, probably.
I think your mum put Alex, and then I started this really like creepy deep dive search of Alex Bacon, like looking for people calling, and I found loads, but they weren't you.
Yeah.
I didn't message any of them just in case, I didn't go that far. But yeah, so you basically, you've been on a bit of a journey. I think that's fair to say. You're still on a journey. You've had kind of CrossFit gyms. You've closed CrossFit gyms. You've, you're heavily involved with men's mental health, and that's been a bit of kind of a portion of discovery for you. You're kind of everywhere in that fitness and wellness and well-being space, at least in the local area, because you're based at the Bridgend. I suppose I'm interested to kind of go back to the beginning when when you talk about mental health, of your experiences really of dealing with your own mental health. So when was the first kind of time that you kind of twigged that maybe something wasn't completely right?
So I think the longer I live my life, the more I'm able to remember back, if that makes sense. As I've made more sense and understood my mental health, I've been able to even experience flashbacks, or they may even be skewed memories, but quite vivid, lucid memories of certain times in my life where things were off and now they make sense. Yeah. So it goes far as back as, I always talk about this with friends, or I've talked about it a few times, as far back as I think it was like under 12s rugby. So it would be a Sunday morning, we'd all meet in the car park at the local, if it was a away game, we'd all meet in the car park, and then while we were all waiting for everyone to meet, the boys would get together and we'd fuck about and have a laugh, and I always remember, a joke would be made, all the boys would laugh, and I'd be a couple of seconds behind. Okay. And in that couple of seconds, he'd be like, "Oh, I'm not laughing." I can see why it's funny. I can see why it's joyful, but I don't feel what everyone else is feeling right now. At the time, I didn't feel like I didn't recognise that. I probably even laughed along, but I do feel always kind of a couple of seconds behind, is how I can describe it. And then that was quite prominent in my life then, from that age till around 15, 16, where I had what I can call a breakdown to my old girl, and she suffers heavily with depression as well. Manages it better than anyone I've known, and she was able then to identify. She just saw it. She said, right, it was. I don't know. I can't even remember what I said, but I just had this breakdown, and she was like, "You're depressed." That's what it is. From there, we followed suit, doctors, therapists, counselling, all sorts of remedies to just try and get to the end of it. And from the early diagnosis and the doctors was SSRIs up until I was about 21, 22. So that's basically kind of where it started. But the best way I can describe it is like the longer I live my life, the more I can kind of relate back to those early days of it. Yeah. And there's always been something that's been off.
So what kind of impact, being told at age 15, oh, you've got depression? Because it's quite a powerful kind of label, for lack of a better term, to kind of be put on you. And I suppose in some ways it helps you make sense of things, but at the end it also kind of categorises you in some ways. So what was that like to kind of have that kind of awakening, I suppose, of all right?
At first it was relief. It was like, okay, this is, there is something that's wrong. And at that age, whether it be hormones, socializing, finding out who you are as a young teen, going into your adolescence, you're also navigating friendship groups and social groups and relationships. So it was a confusing time, but that category provided relief, which was useful in a way. And then with the antidepressants, that also provided relief, because I didn't, even though now my views are slightly different on them, I still feel any change in the way I felt was worth it.
Plus.
Yeah. And that's not demonizing SSRIs, SNRIs, antidepressants by any means, but it was more relieving than anything. And even to have almost like permission, even taking the tablet, it wasn't even about the effect the tablet had on me. It was like, okay, this is going to help no matter what.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's like you need that sort of tablet to kind of bring you into the state of mind before you go on to your own sort of journey then, and to help you, because without them tablets, in a way, your mind is still locked to the potential what you could have if you've, so basically taking the tablets is unlocking your mind, and then you can sort of kind of wean yourself off them, and then you kind of started your journey then, which you can do it on your own. Is that kind of
essentially, like there's good and bad experience, but it's still experience you can learn from.
Yeah.
So I've tried a few different SSRIs over that course, and each one brought a different kind of response and side effects, which were good and bad, but they also gave me metrics of reference.
Yeah.
Okay, and
So, when you began, then I suppose, to start processing and having therapies, taking antidepressants, especially at that kind of age, that formative adolescent stage, was that something that you kept to yourself, or did you have a circle of close friends that you trusted, or was it something that you kind of, I can't tell anybody about this? Because more often than not, obviously, not that there's not a stigma now, but I think there's less of a stigma now, certainly, than it would have been 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Where certainly when I was in school 20 odd years ago, it would have been that you didn't say, because it would have been you would have painted a target on your back.
I'm fortunate to have a really strong circle, and that even being family, and like I said, my mum, she's part, like a big part of the reason why I'm so open with everything is because she treated it so normally.
Yeah.
Then it was just something we were treating. It didn't feel like a stigma. It didn't feel like something I had to hide. I hid a lot of myself anyway, but then getting treatment in any form wasn't something to hide. And that came from her acting like it was normal. Yeah,
because what kind of kid or kind of young person were you? In terms of like were you quiet? Were you?
No, I was out there. I was one of the rugby boys.
Yeah.
I was I had friends in the rugby group, and I had friends in the moshers and the emos. Smoked quite a lot of weed, but played rugby. I was a bit kind of split.
Yeah.
And I didn't kind of know who I was.
Yeah.
I acted out in school quite a bit. I wasn't the best in school. I don't think. I know school wasn't the right environment for me. Just the way it's structured, just didn't respond. And I'm sure there's things I could have done to embrace it a lot more.
Yeah.
But in that time of finding out who you are, and I mean, as soon as I can't remember what age, but as soon as we were old enough to kind of like where they didn't monitor you, I was gone.
Yeah.
But I had great teachers and stuff. Like the school was great. It was more me trying to find out who I was.
Yeah.
But I like to think I was a good kid. I was a good friend. I had good friends. Yeah. We did all like the lads' holidays, played rugby up until I was about 17. Had fun doing it. Didn't have a particularly troubled teen.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because I was interested when you said about kind of being on times a bit of a tearaway in school and kind of not liking maybe the conformity of it and trying to find your way. Because of your relationship with your mother, was there any knock on there, or was she kind of, he is how he is, or was she? She's always supported me. Yeah. When I'm in trouble, I fucking know about it. And even now, I'm 32, and fuck me if I'm in trouble. Oh. But I was always a troubled kid internally, and I think that reflected in my behaviour. Okay. Or I've always, even to this day, I'm quite isolated, self-isolated, and I even catch myself doing it sometimes, quite a lot of the time. But I think that's a learned behaviour. That stems back from a kid or teen. But my mum's always been the best word I can use is supportive. Whatever I've wanted to do, it's always been like, right, how am I going to help you do this? How am I going to? That's good. Yeah, that's good. That's all you can ask, and I hope you don't mind me asking. But you mentioned obviously your mother a lot. Is it the case that it was like a single parent household, or?
No, she's had partners. Me, my sister, and my mum. That I would consider my family. Me, my sister, and my mum. My mum's got a partner now for over 20 years, Richard, and he, one of the best people I know. You know, he's there for my mum, he's there for us. But my family is me, my mum, my sister.
Okay. Yeah. And is that kind of all you've ever known?
No, I was in brief contact with my dad throughout growing up. I'm not sure, like shared custody.
Oh, okay.
Right. Weekends there, type of thing. Maybe sometimes a bit longer, but primarily with my mum. My mum's my best pal, my mum and my dad, and everything else all rolled into one.
Yeah.
So, and same goes for my sister as well.
Yeah.
So I'm really fortunate to have not the biggest of families. I've got aunties, uncles, and cousins.
Yeah.
But my immediate kind of like my
people.
My mum and my sister.
You take the antidepressants, you're on them until your early 20s. You decide they're not working for you, or you decide, is there a different path I can go down? What happened there?
It was a bit of a mix of a few things going on at once. There was my own kind of research into what these are doing for me. There was also a frustration of what I felt was like a quick fix. For every time I walked into the doctors, it would be just try these different ones, and I'm researching and reading that you should wean off, you should stay on them for a long time, but every time I give feedback, it's like try these different ones. I'm actually terrible with time, with years and dates, so it might have been a bit later towards the end of that, but I know at this point in my early 20s I also discovered Buddhism, psilocybin, and a slightly alternative style of looking at mental health, and that opened up a massive kind of a new door for me, just with the people I met, the conversation I was having, and they're my earliest memories of feeling relief just from talking. And I'd be caught in conversations with people I've never even met before who were just giving me this entirely different perspective on life.
Yeah.
And I'd come away, I wouldn't have a clue what they would have said, because my brain has just been blown, but I always remember how I felt.
Yeah.
And I always remember being like, something is there, and I need, whatever that is, I need more of that.
So what sort of direction do they take then, or what's their sort of view on mental health of going through Buddhism and stuff? Is it any different to the norm of looking at mental health?
That's a great question, and I don't want to butcher it by my perspectives on Buddhism, because I wouldn't consider myself Buddhist.
No,
it was more the way they see life, and there's a few kind of like rules in Buddhism which they follow. The first one is life is suffering, and I remember thinking, fuck yeah, life fucking is suffering. Yeah. And then the second one is life is suffering due to your expectations, or an iteration of that. And when these things were, I went to it was like a Buddhism for beginners class, and I was just mind blown the way they can just basically deliver that, and my brain just went off from there, and I was like, so what am I expecting from life? I'd got to a point where I'd made the depression my entire personality.
Right.
So I was living a lot of my traits and my behaviours through the lens of depression. And so where my expectations come into that, I just wondered what was I expecting to be any different if I'm going to consider my entire life depressed. I can't do that. I'm depressed. I'm depressed. Like even on the easier days, I would still be very depressed because that's who I am. I'm depressed. And it would give me permission to not do anything about it. Like, I can't get out of bed today. I'm fucking depressed. So that, like, those type of things just, they just blew my mind in. Yeah,
but what it sounds like is like, this is my own opinion. This is my view of a mental health sort of thing is, you've got to focus or transfix on a certain event that's happened in your life, trauma, loss, and then that's the trigger of the mental health, and that's you try and focus on that, and then trying to get yourself into a better place. But what that sounds like is they are treating it as if life from start to finish is
existence itself
is painful, and your life at the moment, the way you're living it, sounds like that's the root cause is that sort of thing.
Self-inflicted.
Yeah.
Because we had a guy in work by the name of David Odomith, and he came and spoke to us about the more unconventional, spiritual, Buddhist way of dealing with mental health, and again, I as a mental health rep in work, I went along and I had a genuine interest, but very rarely I'll make notes, very rarely. But I found myself at the end of the 45 minutes that I had like a page full of stuff he'd said. Because much in the same vein, he was saying things and it was like, yeah, that makes total sense. That maybe you don't get in the more conventional Western world approach.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's just that we're conditioned that there's got to be a reason for this, so there's got to be but he was kind of saying these things. I was like, yeah, that makes total, why haven't I thought of it like that before?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was quite eye-opening.
Yeah, it's social conditioning, it's cultural. We're always the moody Brits.
Yeah.
It's even environmental, like the weather doesn't fucking help.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, so that, just meeting people like that and being open to different perspectives. I've always been slightly alternative, I would say. I've always looked for, something a little bit different. I've always felt that pull to something a little bit different. I don't think many people would be shocked that I'm on my way to a fucking sound bath one day or a retreat somewhere. Or if I'm just spending the day up a mountain taking fucking mushrooms. It's just one of those things. And I think my life has leaned towards that. So when I did find people who were of a similar mindset, it was kind of like I felt really welcome as well. And I thought, okay, I feel safe here.
A part of something.
Yeah, I don't know what they're saying, but I feel like I understand it. And there's some of the nicest people I've met.
Which is interesting as well, because I think you find, on occasion anyway, you find that people who feel quite distanced from other people, when they get that sense of belonging, it's wow. Whereas, like, you played rugby for years, which is a team sport. You were around, other lads with a shared interest, whatever. So you've always had that kind of community team feel. As you said, yeah, you've got a small, close family network, but you're still very much you're a small kind of hub. So then, for you to say about finding that shared purpose, I think is great. And I listened to Suzanne Shaw from Husey.
I remember Husey.
Pure and simple.
Yeah.
And she was giving a talk, and it was called Dare to Be Happy. And she spoke about the 3 C's of what you could kind of implement to work toward more positive mental health.
Yeah.
But it was a commitment, consistency, and community. And how important the community aspect was, that you surround yourself with like-minded people to get the most out of it. So yeah, that resonates to me, because I think we've all felt a bit isolated in kind of you're kind of thinking, I feel a certain way and I'm really interested in doing this. Why aren't more people interested? And then when you find there are groups or people with like-minded interests, it's like, oh my god, where have you been?
Yeah, there's a difference between like feeling something and being something.
Yeah.
So I always feel isolated. Like I'm quite aware of it right now, and like I'm aware that I feel it, but I'm also aware when I become it.
Yeah.
And they're two different things.
Yeah.
And that feeling, and learning that feeling of community and embracing that, also had a positive effect on the gym.
Yeah.
Too, and it allowed me to. Like the gym had already been established then. It must have been about 4 or 5 years in. but over that time period, it gave me a lot of permission to be like, fuck, I've got an amazing community in this place, and it really reflected onto that.
Yeah.
And I would say like CrossFit Penabon, the community we'd built there, has been one of the biggest successes of my life.
Yeah.
And only in the later years have I been able to look back and be like, what, that was so powerful.
Yeah.
Because of the strength of the community.
Yeah. Yeah. And diving into that then, obviously, you had it was a CrossFit gym, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, that was another thing that just came out, 6 years ago, probably, something like that, or maybe more. As in, like,
I remember CrossFit being around for like I remember there used to be a CrossFit gym down in Pembrey Park down the road. Yeah, that was about 10, 15 years.
Okay.
But I think CrossFit, and now people talk about High Rocks and CrossFit and these alternative ways. Of a gym. It isn't just right, you go to a gym, there's running machine, there's cardio over there, there's this, but then you just go and do your exercises.
I think, so like you said, that the CrossFit and High Rocks now are it's a massive community now.
Yeah.
And when you
it's like shared experience in the gym.
Yeah, and you kind of bounce off each other, and if you're not feeling particularly like motivated that day, somebody's gonna be there to give you that motivation, and I think it's a good thing to have, and if you've built that, and I bet it give you a immense satisfaction that you've built that community in Bridgend.
Yeah, I find it hard sometimes to take credit for it. I think it's a little bit of like humility.
Yeah, you can tell
something in there. But like I said, over the recent years, it has been. Do you know what? This is worth acknowledging.
Yeah,
it's a safe space. We've had people come through and create families. From it. I've recently closed in April, and I've had a handful of members who had been with us from day one. They walked in on day one, and they've been us ever since. And I've grown up with those people.
Yeah,
like spent 12 years of my life literally growing with these people, seeing them every day, coaching them every day. And as we all know, like when you teach, you also learn. Yeah, it's cyclical. So to have the opportunity to get to do stuff like that, I overlook it quite a lot. And since obviously closing, I've had a lot of space to reflect.
Yeah, and
it's been overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah,
like a lot of the times we speak about overwhelm being quite a negative state, but it's been overwhelmingly positive. So, like, I've just been trying to soak that up. More than anything.
Because I found it interesting. When you say about achievement. And obviously, opening any business is an achievement, even if it doesn't go. You've had that bit of spark to go and do something.
Yeah.
But I find it interesting that you said the biggest achievement on a cheat sheet for everyone watching at home was the success, but also the closure of the gym. So you found that that it was an achievement, that it was close. Because I'll be honest, I saw the social. Obviously, it went straight to the top of the algorithm because everyone there was an outpouring of, I think, shock and gratitude to you, and it was really humbling as someone on the outside who kind of knows you at a surface level. But it was really nice to see that you'd obviously, it hadn't been an easy thing for you to do, but you'd felt you had to do it. But then the outpouring, I was just like, well, that's how did it come to pass that you thought, I need to knock it on the head? Especially after it had been open for so long.
Yeah, I think again it's multifaceted, right? There's the economy. Yeah. For one thing, there's logistics. There's money.
Yeah.
But those things aside, it was more of a feeling and a recognition. And over the last 2 years, I would say, whether I knew it or not, I recognised something had shifted. And I would say the last 2 years have been multiple attempts of shifting the direction and the vision in ways where we could keep and embrace more people. And it just didn't work. Or I don't want to say it didn't work, because if I was to maintain staying open, I'm sure I would still be able to survive.
Yeah.
But I've also had the opportunity to open 2 other locations in a different style of training, the more hybrid style of training,
Right. Okay.
without the identity of solely being CrossFit. And I've been in a really good position to kind of have this comparison. So I'm at a point in my life as well where I've had this thing for 12 years, which has given me guidance, navigation, confidence, challenges, and has also allowed me to birth 2 other businesses from it. And it just seemed like the time was right to let it go.
Yeah.
That came with its challenges too. It more internally. It put quite a lot of stress. I remember posting like my social life, my family life took a hit, my stress levels took a hit. I really didn't want to let it go, emotionally let it go. It was for a long time what gave me a lot of my identity. And then letting that go means I'm actually kind of without one.
Okay.
Or I felt like I was without one.
Yeah.
But the feeling, which was quite consistent, was it just felt right to close it.
Yeah.
And the way I did it and the response I got only kind of validated how well the decision was. I remember we probably had, it was only 2 weeks before I made a decision. I had some logistics to sort out. I told my members, and within the space of 2 weeks I said, look, we're going to close on this date. That it was the best 2 weeks years.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not coaching, I'm joining, I'm going to do workouts with you.
Yeah.
I'm not teaching your fucking toes to bar with 2 weeks ago. Like I want to be with you, not kind of in front of you.
Yeah.
And we condensed the classes down to 1 hour a day, or 1 in the morning, 1 in the night, and everyone just came in with this uplifting spirit of just gratitude, like thankful for it. And again, it was really hard for me to kind of embrace that and like accept it. And everyone had their own kind of, whether they'd been there for like a month or 12 years, everyone had their own story, which I was trying to soak it up and really be like, yes. But yeah, it was just an amazing 2 weeks. And then on that final day to have people show up.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I saw the photo. It was incredible to see everyone turn out for you. And was there ever a point, even after you'd said, "Oh, listen, we're closing," was there ever a point where like, "Oh, what am I doing?" Like, you know, maybe I'll rethink it, or
no, that happened prior.
You know,
so even with members, right? So with functional fitness being so staple in so many gyms. You know, back when I started, like, there was only CrossFit.
Yeah.
Only CrossFit. So if you want to do functional fitness, any form of it, you would 99% go to a CrossFit gym.
Yeah.
Now, you got a Nuffield and they're doing functional fitness. You got a Pure Gym, they do functional fitness.
Yeah.
The accessibility is so much higher. Yeah. So the it's quite diluted.
Yeah.
And that's fine as well. If you get what you need to get from a Pure Gym or a Nuffield or a rec centre, great. But what I found is within the last couple of years, there's around, I'd say about 16 to 20 gyms in Bridgend, all with a great community, all with great people. Yeah. I'm not just the only gym with a great community.
It's very similar. Pure and
It
felt like there was a time when it felt like every week, such and such is open.
Yeah.
And like you said, and they were all great for their own reasons.
Yeah.
But you could start seeing where they're having to think outside the box and try desperately to think, because it's you guys want a beer?
No, apparently.
But yeah, it's one of those things, I suppose, as you said, where when the time is right, the time is right. But
keep on chatting a sec.
Yeah, go for it. He's gone. Jordan's gone ski. Sorry. That's all right. We leave all this in.
We will. That's character.
That's what it's like. See, raw cutting and censored. Yeah, because for you, in obviously, and I know I joked at the well, it was a half joke because you are fucking hench. But how important for you, especially from a mental health perspective, how important is that ability to work out? and exercise and just move.
I think it's cyclical, but I do think mental strength starts with physical strength. For me, anyway, it does. You know, how often I feel like just one session will change my entire mindset for the day, whether that's lifting or just sweating in general.
Yeah.
But I do think it's a complete staple in the foundation of your perspective.
You just feel great after it.
You do, yeah. And for whatever reason, like we can go into the science behind it, we can go into the physiology behind it, but it's as simple as you feel fucking good. Yeah. And consistency counts. The more consistent you are, the more you train, you're training yourself to be more consistent.
Yeah.
And then on the hard days or the bad days, you're more likely to repeat that pattern.
Yeah. Because I'm training for the Cardiff Half, and I've never been a runner. So I'm starting to run, and you know, after the feeling after, you're like, because it could be a Monday, like I cannot be asked to get out now after work, go home, try and eat something, but obviously not too much, because that's going playing around your mind. What have I got? I got a drink. Have I had enough water? And blah blah blah.
But I think all those behaviours are like self-regulation, and I think they're quite often overlooked. Yeah. Like, you're an average Joe, you're not, like you said, you're not a runner.
No.
But all of a sudden you're taking yourself seriously, and all these different dynamics, building really quite subconscious forms of behavioural patterns, which are making you a better, more functional person.
Yeah. Yeah.
So recognising that could be so powerful as well.
And then, you know, you go for the run, and then you're like, oh, that was good. You're sweating. And it's just like, oh, that was good. I've done 2 10Ks now, proper 10Ks. And the feeling afterwards, you got a medal. It's just like, wow, that's amazing. And it does put you in a good kind of mindset and a mind frame. And it does, it could be shit weather. It could be lovely weather. You're running, you're looking, you've taken all the surroundings in. Whether you could be in the street, you could be in the city, you could be in the countryside. And so it's... I don't know, it just gives you that, well, it's a dopamine hit, isn't it? When, like your cold dips. Yeah. You cold dip in. Another dopamine hit, and you feel class after it.
Oh, yeah, I tell everyone, the first time I ever tried it was I thought I could run through a brick wall after I first ever did my first cold dip. And because I went in stages the first time, and a mate of mine, he turned around and said, listen, he said, I know, just get in. Just get in, and we went to Revive in Skewen, and he said, just get in, pick a letter on the wall of the logo, just pick a letter on the wall or pick a plug socket and stare at it. And then as the session went on, it did get easier.
I don't think it gets easier. I think you get better at handling it.
It's a good way of thinking about it.
Because every time you stand in front of that tub, you're like, "Fuck this."
But then I go into it now with an excitement. Like, I look forward to it, but I think it's something that I like physically I enjoy. Yeah. Socially, it's a great thing for me. Socially, and it's an excuse to go somewhere with mates or to and you probably have this yourself. We met in that environment, but the people who go there, I've had, even if I never see them again, but I've had some amazing conversations when I'm sat in a sauna.
You're sharing space with an unspoken common understanding of we're all here to be a little bit better.
Yeah.
In some form or way. Like, some people are there, Dom loves the science. Yeah. Loves the science. Not to say he doesn't love just chilling as well, but I'm just there to fucking sweat. Whatever it is, you're there for the same reason, just to kind of put yourself through that little bit of pain, whether it be the heat or the cold, to transform a little bit, and whether to what degree. Yeah.
The first time I ever saw you, I put myself through the cold for longer than I should have, because I remember telling you, didn't I was in the 2 tab, and they were all brand new tabs because it was Cowbridge's opening. Oh, yeah, that's right. Everything was brand new. That sauna was like 115. It was something ridiculous. And I remember thinking, right, I've done my time in the tab. I'm going to get out. And then there were 2 sessions, and Bacon was in the second session, where Ryan Stevens was coming in as well at the same time. And I remember, as I turned my head, seeing this like Jason Momoa Aquaman stunt double in leopard print budgies, and thinking, I'm going to stay in this water. I'm just going to stay here and hope for the best. But yeah, it's as you said, you know, it is a shared, you know, it's a commonality, as you said, of you know, we're all here for the same reasons, whether it is mental health, physical health,
definitely,
you know, to get out the house, to do whatever it is. Dogs. Fucking love dogs. How important are you with dogs?
Very, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the best things in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fred, I've had Fred for around nearly 10 years now. And then the other two came along a couple of years after. But yeah, if you know me, then you'd likely know the dogs. If you come to the gym, you likely know the dogs. And even like that shared happiness they bring is incredible. Like they interact with everyone at the gym. And sometimes it's just amazing to see, like, turn around, someone's stroking them, or they're hugging them, or you know, someone's having an experience there with them.
Would it be fair to, because I can speak for myself openly here, right? But would it be fair to say that you prefer the dogs to people sometimes? Because I fucking do. I will look at any camera we've got here if they're still on, anyone. No, I just love dogs. Like, and I had a diagnosis this week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I suffer from dog distraction, where I am easily distracted by a dog, to the point where I will be mid-conversation, like it can be the deep, and it's quite bad, because I can be like the deepest conversation, and if like a spaniel passes me, I'm like, oh my god, dog. I am fucking terrible. I am awful. But yeah, I just wanted to, I kind of knew dogs, but I just love dogs. We leave that in. That's just me talking about dogs.
Definitely.
Monday nights.
Monday nights
are also fairly important to you. So you run a peer support group based at the Bridgend. Tell us about it.
It was actually birthed from a conversation I had regarding, after a conversation I had with a Buddhist, with the intentions of it not being anything to do with religion,
right?
Ways of life. It was just, I was in an environment where I'd had, again, like I said, this really powerful conversation from out of nowhere. I didn't realise what was said, but I recognised how I felt, and it was just a case of kind of, how the fuck can I do this? How can I do this? How can I get more of this? And I think a lot of it to do is with a little bit of naivety as well. Like I didn't know what it was going to be. I was just like, fuck it, this works. There was no, it sounds a bit unromantic, I should sell it more, but there was no forethought really, other than I know this works, so I'm going to fucking do it.
Yeah.
I didn't know when or where, but when I opened a second gym, we've got like a cafe space upstairs, and I was sitting there one night after classes, and it just pinged in my head. It just came to me, I was like, I can do it here. And that was, I Googled quite a lot after that. I researched on YouTube, like how to run a men's support group, kind of went through that. But what I found was, the more I researched, the more confused I was getting. And the more I was getting away from what I thought it could be or should be. There was a lot of rules, there was a lot of like almost like litigation, you know, and I'm like, fuck, it can't be this hard just to want to talk to people.
And safeguarding and all the rest of it. Like we've experienced that to somewhat of a degree within Andy's Man Club, and I understand why, because obviously there has to be certain safeguards in place. You know, but you know, there's certain things that
I don't think there should be any red tape around talking.
No. God, no.
You know, and if we do want to kind of live by this rule of mental health isn't a stigma anymore, then it should be as simple as, okay, there it is.
On the table, black and
no
white.
rules. There's nothing you can't talk about.
Yeah, you know, and it's something I've openly said it, and you know, it's nothing that I haven't said within an Andy's Man Club, or something I wouldn't say to any of the kind of higher ups within the charity, because it's peer support only and they're not medical professionals. one of the topics that is dissuaded from talking about is medication, whether it's self-prescribed, prescribed, whatever.
Yeah.
I personally think the minute you tell people they can't talk about things like meds, you lose an instant chunk of people. Because some people just want to come and say, right, I'm taking this antidepressant, I'm taking that, this is how I'm finding them. Is anyone else, and shared experience to kind of understand if they're alone or maybe they're not. And it's something that, that has kind of bothered me, that it isn't. But then I get at the same time, as you said, from a litigation point of view, if you come to Andy's Man Club and say, what about this particular antidepressant? I tell you this.
Yeah.
And then you go on and it doesn't work or something happens off the back of it. It'll be, that guy that guy in AMC told me I'd be fine taking him. So I get it, but
we do stay away from imposition or unsolicited prescription. But and that's where I come in. Like, one of my roles is to mediate that. If I feel something is maybe crossing the line, then we just skew it back off. But I'm quite transparent with everyone. It's like, at the start of every session, we go through a few agreements. Yeah. And they're agreements more than anything. Yeah. They're not rules, they're just agreements. They include openness, honesty, sacred. Yeah. And then we do mention that we stay away from prescription. If I'm on venlafaxine and you have a similar experience and I think, you should be on venlafaxine. Yeah. We try and skew our language. Yeah. Okay, that's your experience and I have mine. Yeah. Maybe there are familiarities or similarities, but we don't prescribe. Yeah. And I really, if ever, have done that. Yeah. Because it's conversation, it's not. Yeah, because
I've always said that, haven't I? Yeah, but I think because as you mentioned before, every AMC there's a kind of a word in this given, whether you've been to the club 100 times or whether it's your first time, and that's where it mentions there's certain things we don't cover, and these are X, Y, Z. Yeah. And I've always said you just need to add just an additional sentence to say, but we are not, we aren't healthcare professionals, we're not prescribing this to you, but for whatever reason it isn't in there. Yeah.
Maybe again, bureaucracy. Yeah. I went down the charity route for a little bit, thinking, this could be something big, but again, the more I went down it, the more red tape. And I'm like, this shouldn't be that hard. No. It's not that hard. No. I say to the guy, we're all the same. Yeah. I just got keys to the door. Well, and a bit of an idea. Yeah. Well, you all make this happen.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. And it's like these walk-in groups. Yeah. You just going for a walk, talking. Yeah. There shouldn't be any red tape in that because you're going out for a walk. No. Because it's publicised as
what's a mental health walk all of a sudden. And so have you done a risk assessment? Have you done this? Have you done that? Exactly. I think, I'm going for a walk. Yeah. If I was just out with a mate and we were talking on the Taft Trail about how we were feeling, we would need a risk assessment.
And this now, doing this.
But yeah. I suppose first of all, go on the point, so you're going to let people know about the meetings via socials.
Yeah, Instagram, Big Thoughts, Small Steps, and then we have a WhatsApp group as well. Awesome. Just message the page. Not a lot gets put. Sometimes it's going off. Sometimes it's quite quiet, but anything necessary gets put in there.
Cool. Check them out.
So what's next then? What is your next part of your journey? Where do you see yourself going? Bucket list wise,
Japan.
Japan.
Everyone wants to go to Japan these days. Everybody.
At the moment, so I've learned quite a lot of lessons since closing, and a lot of it has been how much time I was spending doing things which didn't bring me that much in return. So I went from closing gym 1 into driving down on my way to Cowbridge to open up another gym, and I was halfway there and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? The last couple of months for me has been, like I said, quite a big learning curve in creating space in my life, and success is measured differently. For a long while I thought, I got 3 gyms, I'm successful, I'm doing really well, but a lot of my life was consumed by the work and the things it takes to go into a CrossFit gym, because the difference between a CrossFit gym and any other gym. It's just the level of love you have for it. Not to say I love the gyms any less, but there's just something different about it. It's just a different level. But right now, recently, I've started working online one-to-one with men, which has been really rewarding because I now finally have that space and time to do that.
Yeah.
So that, at the moment, that's it. I'm working on that.
Nice.
And I'm sure, it sounds corny, but when you do the things you love doing, things start to fall into place.
Yeah.
And over the since April, there's been pivotal things in my life where, because I'm now really stepping into the things I love doing, even up until the last couple of weeks, things I love doing, my life seems to be just slotting into place for the foreseeable.
Yeah.
And that'll change at some point as well as I grow and learn and as new opportunities come my way. But right now I'm trying to soak up all of the happiness that I'm feeling.
Good.
Through everything I'm doing.
Good. Sounds really good. Really positive.
Yeah, and I'm trying to speak more on that as well because usually I'm real happy, so I'm looking for something to go wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. And right now it's just trying to acknowledge actually I'm in a fucking great place mentally, socially,
just enjoy it,
business wise. And I don't want to. I've got a lot of space, and I don't want to fill that space with things I don't love.
What's the best bit of advice you've ever received?
That's brilliant.
Yeah, no. But it's a question that.
Yeah. Who I suppose it's who give you that advice.
All right then, yeah.
If you can't remember now. So see the world as a reflection of what's going on inside yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's been kind of reiterated through, fuck knows, I don't know how many people and posts, but it's one thing that stuck with me is if I'm not having a good experience on any given day, it's the awareness of projecting that onto someone else.
Okay.
And it's being able to recognize, okay, it's not it's really the other person.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You've probably picked something in front of you in your vision, line of vision, and you've projected whatever you're feeling onto that. And I feel like being able to recognize that and be like, chances are it's not that. Yeah. And that could be anything. It could be someone that's pissed you off. It could be we always use the analogy of someone cutting you up in the car.
Right. Okay.
It's really probably not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's advice, but it's a tool I use.
Well, and if it works for you, it works for you.
And it just brings awareness to emotion, which gives me time to respond instead of react.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm not consumed by this emotion, and I take out this internal frustration on a person who doesn't deserve it, because the chances are they really don't.
No. Well, no.
And it gives you space to just breathe.
I'm going to try something.
Oh, God.
Because it's episode 25.
Come
on. And I haven't run this past you, which I normally don't. This is word association.
Oh, you've always wanted to do this?
I've always wanted to do word association.
Okay.
But I haven't done one previously. So, ChatGPT, one day will take over the world, like Skynet. I've asked it to give me a mental health themed set of 10 words.
A mental health
themed set of 10 words for word association.
Okay.
So I'll say the word, and you obviously just say whatever the first thing comes into your head.
Okay.
Well, this is new.
This is new. This could go any which way.
Right.
Anxiety.
Always.
Therapy.
Great.
Stress.
Low.
Mindfulness.
Daily.
Depression.
Heavy.
Balance.
Consistent.
Support.
Family.
Healing.
Time.
Isolation.
Habit.
Hope.
Always.
I'm going to just add one. Dogs.
Always.
That was good though. Good. Yeah.
We should have done that for the other 25 episodes.
Well, for the next 25 episodes, we're going to do word association.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah, sorry about that. No one had any idea I was going to do that. No. I didn't until I was there thinking, why did I do word association? I've always wanted to do it.
He's a brilliant guest to do it with.
He is,
I suppose.
He is.
But yeah, and it's been a great episode. It's been great chatting to you.
I appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely
We
brilliant.
appreciate you coming.
Yeah.
Honest.
Yeah.
People, if
definitely.
people knew, I'd knock on his door, and I even bought myself a pair of leopard print Speedos we could match.
Yeah. Did you just
That's
test them
what
out?
people don't know. If anyone watching can only see from waist up. We're like newsreaders. Underneath, we've actually got Speedos on. But yeah, mate, thank you very much for coming up. It means a lot, and I'm sure a lot of people will kind of get a lot out of it. To be honest,
Just the fact the mindfulness part it is, I think, is seeing a different way of looking at it, and ways
it's
you
not so
can.
cut and dry.
No, and this thing, the fitness side of it, I think it could change somebody's perspective like that, and
if anyone does want to do some mushrooms with you, is there a particular mountain that you like?
Just don't fucking microdose. Take a handful, go into the woods, and come out a different person.
Great. So thank you again, Liam, Lazarus, for letting us use your lovely Haystack Cafe.
Wonderful Haystack, and Takidi as well, for making us feel welcome.
Yes, definitely. This has been episode 25.
He's been Jordan.
And he's been Mark.
Oh, look at that's like the two Ronnies.
We shall catch you next time on the pod with another wonderful guest who will give us great
Won't be as good as him.
Oh, no.
Don't know. Won't be as big as him.
No, definitely
Widen the fucking doors. Honest, he's a fucking beast.
Unit.
Beast mode.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
And we'll see you soon.
Oomph.
Bye.
Dunsky.